Okay, first of all, you're going to need to make sure you've got the right equipment. So I've got scissors, a comb and a couple of clips. You can get hairdressing scissors online quite easily from Amazon. Obviously they're varying price, so it's down to you to get the right one. So my wonderful model here, Isla.
Hi.
I'm going to do a 1 length cut. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to make sure you've got the right parting. Every haircut can be cut in a centre parting, and the reason for this is if you cut it on the side and it's a 1 length cut, this part of hair, this bit of the hair, if it goes over to this side, will be longer. So if you cut it in the middle, then you know it's going to be even all over. So the way that you find the centre parting is by tipping your client's head back, and you, from my direction, you'll see the nose. So if you come here, Greg, you'll see the nose from my direction, and you know that that will be your centre parting. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. Get your centre parting. Using the teeth of the comb, drag through the hair to get your centre parting, like that. Okay, what you also need to do is to make sure it's thoroughly combed out, because if you're cutting the hair and it's got knots in it, you're going to have long bits. Also, you need to tip the person's hair that you're cutting forward, and the reason for this is because the head is round. Okay, so if I was to cut the hair with the head in this position, cutting the hair, if the person was to tip their head forward, the hair underneath will be longer. Okay, so always tip the head, make sure your client's sitting up straight, tip the head forward before you start cutting the hair. So cut hair in sections, especially with my model, because her hair's really thick. Drag the hair into a parting all the way down to the centre of the back of the head. So the centre of the back of the head is called the nape, and it's where it goes in a bit and at the bottom of the skull. So tip the head forward and bringing that part in all the way down. So what you should have is a line that runs from the front to the back. Getting your first section of hair, keep your head forward.
Yeah.
About an inch and a half, depending on the thickness of the hair, and you get your clip and you just clip it away. And the same with the other side. Just clip it away. So this is going to be your guide for the rest of the haircut. So you need to make sure that they're sitting up straight, head forward. And if you are doing children, you might need to position them every time you do a section to make sure they're in the right place. So get your thinner part of your comb, if you've got one of these combs that's got different teeth on it. And you decide how much you're going to cut off. So we've decided we're going to cut like half an inch because she's trying to grow it. And what you want to do is keep your fingers as close to the body as possible, because you don't want that same graduation you'll get if the head is tipping back.
This good?
Okay, and then I'm left-handed, so you'll get your guideline and you'll cut it as close to the body as possible. So when you brush it down, you won't get any graduation. And then you bring the sides in. What you want to do is bring all the hair back from this section and line it up with your guide, which is there. Okay, so we're going to keep going up. Again, making sure you comb each section so you make sure you've got no knots. I have to stress, this is the stillest this child has sat for a haircut for a while. Okay, so when you bring your layer over the top of your guide, you will see it underneath, just there, and you'll see it through the hair. So you bring it down, you'll see your guide underneath, and you cut everything to meet that guide.
Mum, do you remember when I tried and cut myself?
Yes, I do remember when you cut your own hair. I think every child's cut their own hair. The other way you can cut hair is, and I'll show you in a minute with the next section, is you can cut along the comb. So if you're not sure whether you're getting the hair straight, we all know that your comb is straight. And this is the technique a lot of beginners use when they start their training, when they do a long length haircut. So you would bring the comb down to your guide and cut along the guide. I can't do it because I've been using my fingers forever, but you can bring the comb down and cut along the guide, so then you know that it's going to be straight. Now my model's moved. Sit straight, head forward. Right, I'm going to bring all this lot back, and I'm going to do the sides in one chunk because the sides of the hair haven't got as much hair like as in bulk, because it only goes from that bit, whereas this bit goes from there to there. So I'm going to bring all these back. Bring all that back. So even if you've got a double crown, just bring it all the way back to meet that guideline at the back. Now Isla's hair hasn't been cut for a while, typical for a hairdresser's family member. So her hair is quite uneven, but you'll see obviously now it's all straight. Okay, now what you want to do at this point is you want to make sure, sit up straight, that it's both even either side, because sometimes you can take more off one side than the other. So what I want you to do is take 2 bits from either side of here and shut your eyes, and then you follow the hair all the way down at the same speed, and you can feel it come through your fingers at the same time. And if it comes through your fingers at the same time, you know that it's even both sides, which mine is. If it isn't, go through your sections again and you might see where you've gone wrong. So I'm going to come to the side here now, and I can tip my client's head back now because I'm not dealing with any graduation at the back.
How do you spell your name, Mum?
I'll do it in a minute.
Okay.
Bringing that side over, so like the child's asleep, over like that, because again you don't want that graduation. Sorry, my daughter's got a knot. You don't want that graduation at the side, and it's the same reason because the head is round.
I'm tired.
Bring that down and cut against your guide. So you're going to see your guide from the back. Bringing it round.
Don't cut my fringe.
To the front. I'm not going to cut your fringe.
I do. You're cutting my fringe.
I'm not.
You literally.
It's all grown in. Right, and again round to the other side. Making sure it's fully combed all the way through, root to tips. Tipping the hair over to the side.
My hair is tickling my nose.
And her hair is definitely longer this side. So don't be worried if your client's hair is longer one side than the other. It's perfectly normal if they've not had a haircut for a long while. Something to do with the side of the brain we use, apparently.
No, Mum, it's just from where, like, hair roots.
Okay, so again at this point, you check and make sure you're even. So shutting your eyes, making sure that hair runs through your fingers, at the same time. And another way that you can check is to bring all of this forward at the front. So Isla's is quite uneven at the front because she's been growing her fringe out.
You can trim it a bit, though.
And I'm going to trim it. What I'm also going to do whilst we're at this point is if your child has a fringe, this is the way that you cut a fringe. Although I'm not going to cut her fringe because she's worked really hard growing it out. So if you see here on the hairline, a fringe should only go maximum of 1.5 inches back. So if I was going to cut a fringe into Isla's hair, I'd go from here to here. And I don't go into any of the hair past this point, okay, and that's the point of the hairline, which is in level with the eyebrow, so you don't go into that hair at all at the sides, okay, because that's part of the hair, it's not part of the fringe. And again, for this side, you don't go into that part at all, okay, it's only this front bit, so maximum of 1.5 inches back, because you don't want to be taking any hair from the haircut.
No,
it's the only front bit you need. And again, get your client to shut their eyes. I'm not going to cut your fringe, don't worry. Okay, bringing it, I would cut it longer than you want it. And then you can always go up because no one wants a stupid short fringe.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you would cut along and again going out. If you wanted a framed fringe, you would just bring the sides in to meet the middle. And that's it. I really do hope you found this video helpful. If you've got any questions, comment in the box below, like and subscribe.